Hello, Guardians. Welcome back to Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is definitely not the latest update to get delayed because their new game is coming out, Josh Finney.
Unbelievable.
Definitely not releasing an update for Destiny at the same week as your new game, are you, Josh?
No, I'm gonna delay it without warning.
Oh, there'll be a warning. It'll be like at the TWAB before it's supposed to release.
Honestly, that was like my favorite thing about that rumor when it was going around, because it came from Paul Tassi, which means it could either be 100% true or 100% bullshit.
Yeah.
And, no disrespect to Paul. I know that sounds really disrespectful, but
you just never know. You just never know.
Brother, I'm sorry. This is not Jeffrey Grubb or Jason Schreier that we're talking about here.
No.
He's
busy playing High Guard right now.
Dude, I laughed so fucking hard when I saw that he said that I've heard that Shadow and Order is going to be delayed, and it's like, what's there to delay? What's there to delay?
There's no raid with this, is there?
There's no raid. There's no dungeon. The closest thing to a raid that we might get, and assuming that this didn't get magically taken out in the year and some change since they told us, is Pantheon 2.0.
Yeah, but that's already built, so
I highly doubt is happening.
Like, I feel like 90% of that is already built. You would just add the new encounters from the new raid if you wanted to, right? I feel like
you cannot run the same Pantheon back. It has to be different. It straight up has to be different. That the final encounter has to be the Witness. It just has to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you do here. I'm just gonna kind of forewarn everybody here off the top. There is pretty much nothing to talk about in the TWAB this week. There's pretty much nothing that's happened in game. Arms Week is happening right now. Congratulations, go play Arms Week, yay! I posted about this in the Discord a little bit earlier tonight, and I stopped myself because I was about to just start posting through it. But I've been very honest and very open, I feel, about my relationship with Destiny and how it's been changing over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I want to play the game. I want to start by saying that. I want to play the game. Bungie, however, is not making me want to play the game. Bungie is making me... They are doing everything they possibly can to get me to say, no, actually, you don't need to come spend time in our game. Please feel free not to check back in until July or whenever the next expansion comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I will always turn up for story beats. Story beats are how you're going to get me to keep playing. I'm not saying you even have to go back to a weekly story as much as I liked that. Give me some sort of story in these seasonal updates, though. I really loved Edge of Fate. I loved the Edge of Fate story. I don't feel like there was enough to do after, but we had the raid. We still, we did the sieve a few times. There were a few other things, like the portal was still new, this and that. Renegades, I feel, had less staying power for me, just because I wasn't as engaged with the narrative. But I will say, like, I'm tuning in. I'm playing every week right now because I'm running the dungeon 3 times a week, trying to get my Black Crystal and trying to get my exotic. Once I have those, I honestly don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
I already got the Yellow Crystal. I need to do the mythic missions or the mythic bounties, whatever they're called, for the Lawless Frontier to try and earn the Cyan Crystal, and I need to go do my invasions to get my Red Crystal. Beyond that, I don't really care, unfortunately. And they've done this themselves. They've neglected the game for so long. It's really reminding me of what Blizzard did to Overwatch 1 while they were working on Overwatch 2, and then Overwatch 2 was also dog shit.
Well, it was just Overwatch 1 again.
It was Overwatch 1 again, but worse, somehow.
Somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow
Palpatine returned. Somebody call Jeff Keighley.
Oh, God. Somehow Keighley returned.
Keighley's too busy playing High Guard also.
Yeah. Keighley's playing High Guard with Paul.
Such a hard on for that game, and I do not understand. Him and Danny Pena have just such a hard on for it, and I don't understand it. It is the wildest shit to me.
I don't know. Maybe,
dude, it is the wildest shit to me. It's so funny. I understand if you're having fun with it. I have zero problems with you having fun with it. I just find it funny how they just like are riding and dying for it. Like, this game was supposed to be shadow dropped. It came out this week. It was supposed to be shadow dropped. Keeley begged them to let it be the reveal at the end of the Game Awards. He is the one who put it there. That is so like batshit crazy.
Oh, they didn't even pay. They didn't even pay for that.
No.
Oh my god.
No, that's so insane to me. I'm trying to think back and like I think the announcement of the new KOTOR game would have been the final announcement. I think that would have been the one more thing.
Yeah, it should have been though. It still should have been the one more thing.
It still should have been the one more thing. Yeah. I've never gone from, hey, this looks really cool to it's a 3v3 PvP game and going, God damn it. So fast as I did with High Guard.
I mean, I didn't even say that with Apex Legends.
I will. So Apex to me worked because it had the name Respawn on it. That's
Right.
why the Shadow Drop worked.
Right. But like, even then, like, I was like, oh, cool, a new Respawn shooter. But I wasn't like, I like Titanfall, but I liked Titanfall's campaign.
I was extremely excited because I love Titanfall though. Like I have loved Titanfall since the second that it was revealed in 2013. I skipped class to play the Titanfall alpha and beta. I skipped college classes to go home and play that. Like a buddy of mine texted me and said, "Hey, I got a code. It'll be done downloading in an hour and a half." And I literally just I didn't even say a word. I literally stood up, closed my laptop, and walked out of class. I still remember it was early American literature, and our professor did not have an attendance policy. I just got up and left. I emailed her later and was like, "Oh yeah, I had to go. I had a family emergency," because everyone knew I took care of my parents.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, I used that excuse 3 other times that semester to go play Titanfall 1. And it was incredible. I don't even fucking care.
Titanfall 1?
I loved Titanfall 1 so much.
Fun fact, I played Titanfall 1 on the Xbox 360.
Oh my god, did it spontaneously combust on you?
No, it was awesome. Dude, Blue Point did it. Funny enough.
I remember when it came out, I was so excited for Titanfall. I bought 2 copies of the game, I bought 2 of the controllers, and I bought 2 of the headsets for me and Chelsea.
Nice.
So we each had a full set of stuff. And then I was not disappointed by it, but it was very quickly one of those games you could only play with a squad.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I fucking loved that game so much.
Remember when they tried to add solos into it? You're like, what are you doing?
I do remember it, and it didn't work. I played a decent amount, but it did not work. And then Titanfall 2 comes out, and it's one of the greatest shooters of all time. And we've never gotten a follow-up. We got Apex. Yay. And now, after Vin Zampella tragically passed away, we're probably never going to get a third one.
Yeah.
I feel like he was the last champion of it.
Yeah.
I say all that to say, to get back to the Destiny of it all, this almost feels like, I don't want to say it feels like an Apex Legends scenario, because I don't know that we've seen a studio do this where they have one game that's been going on for a while that's pretty successful, and then they just stop to work on something else. Not gradually wind it down, just abruptly like slam the emergency brake.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it feels like it's gone into with Marathon since the launch of Edge of Fate. And I think that's part of why Ash and Iron was so bare bones, and why Shadow and Order will be as well, is because they were going to meet that September launch date until they got caught plagiarizing. Which, going back to that for a second, Joe Cross isn't even with Bungie anymore. I found that out this week.
Yeah,
he was tweeting about the game's release date and everything, and like how he's excited to jump in and play it with all of us on day one, even though he's no longer at Bungie and this and that. And it's like, oh shit, that was a very quiet departure. And I don't know if that was him, like he willingly left, or if
they announced it like 2 weeks ago.
Did they really? I completely missed it. I
don't think they announced it. I think he announced it.
Got you. That makes sense.
It was right after let me hold on. He announced it right after the last Marathon reveal. Like the release date reveal. That he was no longer there.
Yeah, that's kind of wild to me.
But also that like that just tells you the state of the game and how unplugged in we are. I heard it on a PlayStation podcast. I didn't even hear it on a
Yeah, I've got something pulled up from Insider Gaming here about it. Earlier in the day, Game Post found Destiny 2 alum updated his LinkedIn and got rid of the present status for Bungie, showing 2025. In an article from Kotaku, the outlet confirmed Joe Cross, Marathon's art director, has left the studio. No official comment has been made as of this writing, and this was back in December. This was back in December, actually. That's crazy to me.
He must have left over break, and then like when all these podcasts started coming back, that's when they reported it.
It's unclear why Cross left Marathon. There's a few different possibilities. One would be his work was simply done and his direction wasn't needed anymore. This does happen with art direction, by the way. This does happen.
It happens with writers too.
It happens with writers. Yeah, we see a lot of writing layoffs and stuff. Like people made a big deal when a few got let go from Playground last year, and they were like, no. Like our contracts were up. We were done with our part on Fable. Another possibility is he did not want to continue working at Bungie. I don't know about that, but he was in a lot of hot water over everything that happened. And, you and I both said it at the time. Like,
I'm surprised he didn't resign or get...
Yeah, at a certain... Like, I don't want to call for people's jobs, but your job was going to be cost.
I'm surprised he didn't resign during that live stream.
Dude, he looked like... I literally watched, like, the light in his and Joe Ziegler's eyes was just dead. Because Ziegler is probably thinking, God damn it, I left Riot to come do this, dude. I left Valorant to come do this. And Cross is like, he is responsible for some of your favorite Destiny arts ever over the years, by the way. So that is just fucking wild. Anyways, I feel like it was going to have to happen eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, but
yeah.
I mean,
it is what it is. And like, hey man, even if a lot of stuff had been plagiarized, like I still think the overall like feel of Marathon art wise is something that is 110% in my wheelhouse. Like that's what made me interested in it from the get-go.
Yeah.
From that, when that initial teaser trailer came out, and I was like, oh shit, this is the feel you're going for. But this is a game that has been so troubled. They've tried to get it off the ground for years. Like we know, going all the way back to like Forsaken, they've been working on this in some capacity.
Yeah.
But you had the Chris Barrett incident.
It was supposed to have that like campaign originally that like like almost like a Halo type campaign that tied into those.
Both. Yeah, it was supposed to be both, if I'm recalling the details correctly. They decided to change the project somewhere around like 2022, 2023 to focus just on multiplayer. But it wasn't supposed to be just extraction. It was supposed to be like multiplayer. And then they focused it down again to be this. They took away character creation to make you play classes. Like that was something that happened, I think, around the time that Barrett got fired and Ziegler was brought in.
That's exactly when it happened.
So because he was coming from Valorant and was like, no, you gotta, shorten your focus.
Yeah.
And hey, that's probably going to be a really good idea in the long run. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
So
I think you could have probably had a little bit of both, like the way that Destiny does it, right? I feel like you could have done something like that.
I think Marathon looks cool. I need to play it. I have missed both of the play tests I've gotten into because of emergencies. God, I'm really hoping that this demo weekend that they do comes out. I mean, it's got to happen soon. This game's coming out at the beginning of March. I'm hoping that this is not Super Bowl weekend. And they got to give you ample warning. I think it's going to be the weekend after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it cannot be Super Bowl weekend.
No. That's my feeling, is it's got to be the weekend after, or like the week after or something. Started at Tuesday reset and then just keep it going for a week. I am genuinely excited to get in there and play it. Like I said, I will forever love the art direction that they did with this. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. I almost talked myself into getting that fucking collector's edition.
I did too. I saw it too. I
almost did. You want to know what caused me to pause? The fact that I've watched the last 4 Destiny ones just sit there for years. And I'm like, they put those on sale regularly. I'm not buying this.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the Lightfall one is still on their store.
The Witch Queen one was on there for quite a while. It came in and out of stock for a bit, and then it finally went out. The Lightfall one has been there since the day they announced it. The Final Shape one, I think, has popped up occasionally.
Yeah.
And then
the Edge of Fate one's still there too.
Yeah, the Edge of Fate one is here. The Year of Prophecy is. Yeah, I will be real though. That is the best quality thing they've ever put in these.
Yeah, it's cool.
That statue was awesome. The same makers of that statue did the Marathon one, which is why I was interested in. Can we talk about this awesome fucking box, man? I can't believe I got to talk about the packaging. This is the coolest packaging I've seen for a collector's edition in a hot minute.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, I can't believe they're gonna try to like pull this off like a couple million times, like making these collector's editions. I think the box is cooler than the statue, honestly.
I think the statue is really cool, but yeah, that box is bitching. That box is bitching. But for $230, man,
no.
Well, and that's if you get it with a game code. You can get it without for I think $170,
which is crazy because isn't the game only $40?
Yeah, you get.
Oh, you must get the
yeah. There's
edition.
a $40 and a $50 edition. So
yeah,
yeah. No, this is really cool. This looks like something that if you could get it without the code for like $125, I would probably buy it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if I play that beta and I fall in love with it, I will probably eat all my words, go order this, and then have to show off in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, but I want to play it first.
I want to play it first to make sure. It's not even just that. I want to play the full version, not just the beta. I want to play the full version and make sure that I'm playing this for more than like 2 weeks before I decide to buy a collector's edition like this.
Yeah, because it's what, 180, you said?
It's 170. 170.
70. Yeah, that's what the Destiny ones are without the game, right?
That is what the Year of Prophecy without the game is 175. Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, like I said, I think the statue is very high quality for the Year of Prophecy. For once, it doesn't feel like cheap plastic. I've told you all how disappointed I was in the tower from the Final Shape.
Yeah, my tower, the back of my tower actually chipped. Well, my daughter was helping me. I got new shelving units, and she was helping me move stuff, and she dropped it, which I can't get mad at her. You know, I'm just,
if she was going to drop anything of the Destiny collectibles, at least it was that.
Yeah, at least it wasn't my ghost.
If my year one ghost ever got from the Ghost Edition, if that ever got damaged, I would be kind of inconsolable.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I actually plugged my ghost in to charge it 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
It still works. It still lights up and it still talks.
Yeah, dude, Dinklebot is forever.
Oh, it's so weird hearing him talk.
It takes me back to a time when I was so excited to play this, though, and like that's the other thing. Like, Bungie is gambling everything on Marathon, and I think at this point it feels like if Marathon is not this like cultural smash hit, we've got a problem.
Yeah, I do.
And I wonder at a certain point how much of this is Bungie pushing it because they want to versus Sony is desperate to have a game like this generating revenue and being a smash hit.
Well, yeah, because I mean, what do you can't count on Helldivers forever, and what are you going to count on? Fair Games?
I don't think Fair Games is happening anymore.
It's still in development technically, but
that's why I'm half expecting that to get canceled before the summer showcase.
I mean, half that studio left.
And Jade Raymond is gone.
Yeah,
just what an absolute failure. But that was the one thing when they showed all those in development projects, we were like, well, at least Destiny and Marathon will be good. Granted, we got the Final Shape a year later, and the Final Shape kicked all sorts of ass.
Dude, Final Shape's
phenomenal. The further we get from it, the more I become convinced they should have just ended it right there. That should have been the end of Destiny.
They should have ended it there. Maybe, I mean, like sprinkle out a little bit of content to keep people engaged for a little bit, but not like start a whole new saga, right? And maybe just focus on Marathon. And then when you have a good idea, then bring Destiny 3 out. I feel like that's what they should have done.
I think they knew that the Destiny brand had become so toxic and memeified that if you made a Destiny 3, it just wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have worked. I think people flocked to Destiny 2 when it first came out, and it sold so many numbers because Destiny 1 was still so fresh in people's minds, but they had forgotten how crappy the launch was. Unless you just spent all day on Reddit and Twitter, you kind of forgot about how bad D1 was at launch. You remembered the Taken King and Rise of Iron.
I remember how bad Destiny 1 was at launch.
I remember how bad it was too, but we're also chronically online.
Dude, I can't tell you how relieved I was when I wasn't the only one that said, what the fuck is going on in this game?
I felt like people were too harsh in the moment because I think they were very emotionally charged. It was the first time we'd ever seen Bungie make like a lackluster game.
Well, it wasn't that. I feel like people were like, this is how
for me, that's what it was. It was the first time in 13 years that they had made a game that I wasn't immediately in love with.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I think the reason personally why I was disappointed was like they were pitching it as Halo meets Borderlands meets Fallout was how people kept talking about it,
which was always dumb.
And I'm like, it's like none of these things. I guess the guns shoot like Halo, and the movement kind of feels like Halo because it's Bungie. But
my exact words when I played the beta for the first time, or the alpha, really, when I played the alpha and the beta, was this is how I imagined the next evolution of Halo would feel. And it did. And I mean, the reason for that, I would find out later on, was because it was on the Tiger engine. And so, of course, it's going to feel similar to Halo. But it just felt so good. And that was the thing that kept me coming back in year one. Even though year one was lackluster, I wanted to do the Vault of Glass, but I loved the gameplay. I loved the gunplay. And then I put it down. And then I came back. I got convinced to come back for Crota. Loved Crota. Ran Crota every week for like the next year, I think. Played House of Wolves. Left school early to go play House of Wolves also. And then you had Taken King. And Taken King was the first real game that had come out post graduating from college. And man, I stayed up all night playing Taken King for like 3 weeks straight. It was incredible. I had no real job at this point. It was incredible. I will always have fond memories of the franchise. It's like that was the moment where I realized why people, I think, were so down, like why casual gamers were so down on it. And it's because they were largely console players. They had never played an MMO. They'd never played a grindy game like Diablo or, like dungeon crawlers and stuff. They clearly had never gotten in the trenches of World of Warcraft or EverQuest or, like Diablo 2. Like, so many of us grew up playing those games, though. And I think it was kind of geared perfectly towards those of us who fell in love with first-person shooters because of Halo, or loved the loot aspect of Borderlands 2, versus people who like had only ever played campaign-based shooters or very casual games like Call of Duty. And Call of Duty at the time was still, like, I would say fairly casual. That was when it was like starting to like become the game where it was selling like 20, 30 million copies a year. Right? That was right around the time of Black Ops 2, I think, is when Destiny came out. So
yeah, because
it came out like 2 years after Black Ops 2, I think. But irregardless, it was just like one of those moments, and it's like the perfect encapsulation of where we were as gamers at that point in time. Like, it was, in a lot of ways, I feel like Destiny was ahead of its time. But in trying to catch up, other games blew right past it and did what it did, but better. There's never been a real Destiny killer, though. That's the thing. Like, it still has been this wholly unique experience.
Yeah, I feel like and
that's why we keep coming back.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point, people have found their quote unquote Destiny, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, WoW players have been playing WoW forever. Final Fantasy 14, all the games you just
oh my god, yeah.
Like, it's just like people have found that
you got
game.
League, you got Valorant, like
they have their forever game, and then you play your other games in between, right? Like, I feel like that's
how many times have you and I talked about this on this show, on Xbox Casuals, on the Boss Rush Pod? Like, we've been saying it for years. There's only a finite amount of multiplayer games that people can play. And when you have games like Destiny that are just being updated so sporadically or not updated at all, it makes it really easy to cut them out of your rotation. It hurts at first because you're like, man, I just want to go play those games and play those games with my friends that I made playing this. But eventually you guys start gravitating to other games. Like a lot of the guys that I play with they are playing Minecraft currently. They're probably going to try Highguard. I don't know if they'll try Highguard. We were all kind of making fun of it the other day. It has secure boot, so I don't like that. They played some Battlefield. They've been playing, they play zombies whenever an update comes out. Another play group that I'm part of, they're doing a lot of Baldur's Gate runs. They're playing a lot more D&D and Magic, and they're trying out Highguard, and they're trying out Arc. They're playing a lot of Arc Raiders, and like we're all playing a little bit of Fortnite here and there, and like it's getting easier and easier for me. And I realize this sounds really shitty as the host of a Destiny podcast. It's getting so much easier for me to just not feel like I'm missing out. Like I never would have skipped something like Arms Week in the past. Mm-hmm. Now I'm like, man, I have like 3 hours to game after I get home from my commute, and I still have to cook dinner. And that's if I'm not spending time with Chelsea or I don't have something else to do. Like, damn, do I really want to spend it just doing the same activity as I've done over and over again for like 7 years?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I mean, I've been playing the GameCube Fire Emblem game in bed at night because I just
it's on the Switch. It's on Virtual Console now.
Yeah, I stare at my Xbox and like I turn it on and I'm like,
yeah,
do I really want to do this right now? And then I just grab my Switch and go lay in bed and play that.
It's a huge bummer, and it's like now I don't want to say like there are plenty of things I want to play on my Xbox. I'll preface it with that.
Well, yeah,
but it's not. I don't feel like I'm missing out. Before, like, I think it was the heavy metal event the first time it came up is what finally turned the switch in me to be like, dude, just stop grinding everything out. I was already doing it sporadically with like the holiday events, but like if it was like a limited thing, I wanted to be there for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of getting to the point where like, well, now I only want to show up if there's one, a really good reward, like there's a meta weapon that I need to go get, or two, you're going to do something like Ride of the Nine or Pantheon. Those things will always get me to pull up. New dungeon, new raid, always going to get me to pull up. We did an impromptu dungeon crawl a couple of weeks ago where we ran every single dungeon in release order.
And I'm sure that was fun.
It was a blast. I think our combined times on every single dungeon was under 3.5 hours to run every dungeon ever made in Destiny.
That's crazy.
That was a blast. It was an absolute blast.
I mean, that sounds like so much fun.
We're at the point with the game where we have to make our own fun now because there's just nothing else. That's why people care about leaderboards and doing low mans and doing trios and doing duos where they can, like doing solo dungeons, is because there's nothing else to do. There's no content that's coming anytime soon. Like, if they don't do a Pantheon like they told us they were going to, realistically, our next real content drop, unless Shadow and Order just like shocks the world, the next content drop you're getting is going to be in like July or August. And at that point, who really gives a shit?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. Who is going to be left to remotely give a shit? You have guys like Fallout and Datto who have covered this game like obsessively since it came out. Mm-hmm. Both of them already had been diversifying their content, but they're both pretty much like, yeah, if something big happens, like we'll cover it and we'll like play it, but we're not going to play this game daily anymore.
Yeah.
Like we'll log in occasionally to do stuff or like make recurring content like Fallout does his Zur in 1 minute videos every Friday, but like he's been making he's been doing Arc Raiders. Datto just announced the other day he's making a whole new YouTube channel. Datto does Deadlock. There's not a whole lot of Deadlock creators. He's put over 500 hours in. He's really enjoying it. He's going to start making content on that game. Like, great. True Vanguard left Destiny years ago to go make Starfield content, and now he's like full time on Marvel Rivals, and his stuff's doing better than it ever did for Destiny. Good for you, man. I always loved watching Vanguard's videos, but like, good for you, dude. Like, find your thing, find your niche. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying there's nothing here for me anymore. And I hate that we've gotten to that point.
Yeah.
I hate so much that we've gotten to that point. And I didn't intend for this to be such a Debbie Downer of an episode, but like, this really is like, where do we go? Like, where do we go as a community? Where do we go as a show? Where do we go as fans? Because I don't have answers for you guys anymore. Like I'm almost tired of talking about
it. To every other week because there wasn't anything to talk about.
And we did that a year and a half ago, and it's only gotten worse. This makes Revenant look like a fucking dream. And that's like a bottom 4 season for me. Dude, like, I long for the days of Season of Plunder right about now.
Yeah.
I wish I was joking.
Yeah, it's not great, Josh.
It's not. And I have been fairly critical the past, I would say, like 3 years. I think the point where where the cracks started showing for me, like, yeah, I was negative before. I'd been negative here and there before. It really started showing during Wish. And I like privately told people, I was like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around Destiny. I'm really just trying to hold out for the Final Shape. And the Final Shape was so fucking good that it reinvigorated me and made me only want to play Destiny like all summer. I played a ton of Final Shape. I played way more of Echoes than I thought I was going to. I did not because I liked it, but because I enjoyed the loot chase in that season. I liked the weapons. The weapon suite kept me coming back. And I was running Salvation's Edge and this and that. Like, that was a whole lot of fun. And then Revenant comes out, but it's not that good. But Vesper's Host is amazing. It's maybe my favorite dungeon ever. Like, that you get that, and then okay, I'm not really feeling it. I'm gonna start tapering off, but oh shit, here's Heresy, and Heresy was fucking awesome. Heresy's one of the best seasons we ever got. Like, they finally figured out this episodes thing, and they're dead. Ride of the Nine. I enjoyed Ride of the Nine for the most part. I really liked Edge of Fate, and then everything came to a screeching halt. I was playing,
and then
playing regularly up until
too. Like,
do what?
The portal kind of killed everything too. Like,
yeah, I mean, I was playing regularly up until Ashen Iron, and then when I saw it was just one activity with 3 rotations, that was where I just mentally checked that. I was done. I was done at that point. A lot of family tragedy happened. Otherwise, we probably would have had this conversation before Christmas, in all honesty. And I don't want to be a downer, but I almost feel like we're getting to the point where, like, yeah, I mean, if there's like stuff to talk about, like, we'll talk about it, but I don't want to get on here every week and just, or even every 2 weeks now, and be like, I got nothing to say, because there's nothing happening. There's nothing unique going on. There is to talk about. I'm going to be real. I'm not talking about Arms Week this week, guys, because I have no desire to go do Arms Week. It's bows, which I already don't like, and the volatile mods. I understand some of the volatile mods can apparently melt bosses in like 10 seconds, which I think is hilarious for people trying to farm the Black Crystal in the dungeon. But like the Warlock Void Grenades are already doing that. So right. I don't I don't have a lot else to talk about. Like, this was always a show for casual players. This was always a show by casual players for casual players. And then I started leaning more into the hardcore side for a little while there. Never in PvP, but like, I was doing all the raids. I was trying to do contest raids. I was doing contest dungeons. Like, I have a clear of each. I have a clear of a contest raid. Granted, it's the easiest one, but I don't care. And then I got a clear of Sundered on contest. Like, cool, I'm done. I'm done. I'm very proud of my continuing streak where I've done everything, for just about everything, week 1 that I can.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of willing to let that streak go away because I'm just done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done, and I don't know what to do.
I mean, it's gonna take a lot for Destiny to bring people back the way that we were playing it before. It's gonna take a lot, and it's gonna take a lot more of a lot than I think people anticipate. I don't know. It's sad because I like you. I want to play out. Like, I want to play Destiny. Like, I see Destiny stuff all the time. I'm like, I put all my Destiny figures in a box because I got new shelving units and I'm moving them. And like, I'm like, oh man. I'm like looking at the figures and like, oh man, remember when we finally found out who the stranger was? And like, remember when, they teased when that Cade was coming back, and like, I'm like looking at all this stuff like, man, Destiny is so great when it's great.
Mm-hmm. The Days of Destiny are unlike the highs of any other franchise that I feel like I follow,
Mm-hmm.
at least in gaming.
Yeah.
And I think that's because it's been an ongoing thing. And sometimes you just have to know, like, when you've stuck the landing and enough of a good thing is fine. And I think we hit that point with Destiny with the final shape. We had to kind of limp to get there. But all in all, I think from Forsaken, I'll even throw the Red War in there. I think, minus a couple of bumpy patches, Curse of Osiris almost killed the game, let's be honest. Curse of Osiris, Plunder, and Lightfall aside, I think by and large, the Shadowkeep campaign, not great. But you had way more positives than negatives.
Yeah, and like even if the campaigns weren't good, you still got great seasons somewhere within that. Like Seraph. People love Seraph.
Yeah, Seraph was great. Not Seraph Towers, but
No.
Seraph was great.
Well, you didn't like Seraph Towers, Josh?
No, and it made it even worse that was the COVID season.
Mm.
COVID happened like right as that season came out, and on top of that, Trials was dog shit when it first relaunched. It was like it was the poop fecta.
God.
It was the poop fecta. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. I did not enjoy it, but I have, by and large, enjoyed more of Destiny 2 than I haven't. It's just unfortunately over like the last 2 years. Yes, I got the final shape out of it. Yes, I got Vesper's Host. Yes, I got Heresy, and I got the Edge of Fate campaigns. I also got Renegades, which I wasn't overly thrilled with. It's not bad, but it's not the greatest thing I've ever played. It's somewhere in the middle. I got Revenant. I got a whole year of nothingness, essentially. I got a 7-month season of The Wish.
Yeah.
I got, did I mention I got Revenant? I got Revenant.
Did you get Revenant?
I got Revenant. And I just haven't. And yet, at the same time, like, when Destiny is good, there's no game I want to play more than Destiny when it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame that this game will never be preserved in the way that I wish it could be to show people down the line, like, yeah, this is the game that I loved and spent so much of my time playing and talking about on the internet and making content about and playing with my friends and staying up till 4 a.m. figuring out a raid encounter.
God, yeah.
Like, nothing beats the feeling of beating a raid in Destiny for the first time.
Yeah.
Especially if you do it like week 1. Nothing beats that feeling. Nothing beats the feeling of figuring out a dungeon on weekend 1 and you haven't looked at the strats on how to do it. Nothing beats that feeling. It used to be a thing, like whenever the dungeon would come out, as soon as it would come out, bam, I was in there. I was in there because there wasn't a contest mode. I was just in there right away with people doing it. I think it was Warlords Day 1 is one of my favorite memories. It was me, Nerd, and Sammy who ran it.
Mm.
And that was a fucking blast. That's one of my favorite Destiny memories ever, I think. We went in there, we were like, what the hell is this? And it was so cool. And I think our first run was like 4.5 hours or something on that. And it wasn't bad at all. And then we got Buried Bloodline at the end. Like, oh my God, this is so fucking cool. Like, oh, it's a crossbow, man. Like, oh, I got Indebted Kindness on my first run. Oh, this is such a good gun. Oh, rocket pistols, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was a blast, like figuring that out, like doing Salvation's Edge for the first time. We dog on Shadowkeep all the time, but man, remember turning the corner in the moon and seeing the pyramid?
Yeah.
And like that was something you only knew about if you had watched the post credits of D2 Vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
That was so cool. It was such a cool moment. And you're like, oh my God. Or if you had seen like the little pyramid ship on the little hologram and Mara's throne.
Mm-hmm.
That was about it. Other than that, you hadn't really seen them. And that was so cool. I was like, oh shit, we thought they were coming. No, they're here now. Like, they're here now.
Yep.
And it was so cool. And it like kicked off this whole storyline of like, oh my God, we wield the darkness. And oh, Savathun is here too. And oh my God, like, you know who Savathun is if you've read the Books of Sorrow and like you follow the Dreaming City lore. But oh my God, Savathun's actually here. Oh my God, we're gonna have to deal with Zebu Arath too. Oh, this is so cool. And like, oh, she's a guardian. She's got a fucking ghost. Like, think of all the hype moments you've had in Destiny and just like, I've had so little of that the last, like, since post Final Shape.
Mm-hmm.
Vespers, for as much as I like it, I don't think Vespers really had like an oh my god moment for me. As good as it is, I don't think it really had an oh my god moment.
Yeah.
Sunder definitely didn't.
Or even like when they released the dungeon for the anniversary, right? Where they like
Oh, Avarice,
you went through the loot cave to get there.
that was so cool. That it was a little thing that paid homage to the history of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much I can continue to do it, man. And I hate it because I love this game so fucking much. I love this franchise so much. I just don't know if I don't know how much I can do. I don't know how much I can deal with it because it's such a bummer.
Yeah.
So, and I've had a lot of people ask me, like, do you think the game is in trouble? And they haven't necessarily asked it in Discord. Like, just like people in my personal life who like know I play a lot of Destiny or who used to play themselves and fell off for various reasons, careers, kids, other hobbies, etc.
Been there.
And I gotta say, like, yeah, I've been concerned before, but I'm pretty convinced now that we're in the final days. Like, we're in the final days of Destiny 2. I don't see any way that Sony is going to look at this and be like, yeah, this game is still profitable for us.
Yeah.
And that's a damn shame that it's come to that. And I'm not going to be one of those people who's like, well, if Bungie had just stayed independent, they could have kept doing this. No, but Bungie had to have a financial backer. Like that much has been made abundantly clear. I mean, you and I used to long for Xbox owning Bungie again. It's the only time I think we've ever advocated for a studio to be bought.
Yeah.
And
we also knew that Bungie was like kind of financially in trouble, but we didn't know how bad.
We didn't know how dire it was until like a year or two later.
Yeah.
Like I remember when the rumor came out the summer of 2020. We heard it for the first time. Ryan McCaffrey actually had to address it because Ryan McCaffrey never comments on stuff like this. Mm-hmm. And he had to come out and be like, yeah, no, what Grubb and Eurogamer are saying is right. Like, even after the Pete Parsons, like, vehement denial, McCaffrey came out and was like, no, this is happening. This is a real thing, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
This is 100% happening. And we were all like, what the fuck? Like, even McCaffrey has heard that people like Phil Spencer were meeting with Bungie at this point to try and discuss a purchase. And it ultimately came down to, like, we thought at the time it was because they did not want to accept that their stuff was going to be exclusive to Microsoft at that point.
Yeah.
Now it's becoming more and more clear that they wanted to have too much autonomy. Like, they wanted too much autonomy, and overall, like, some spreadsheet watcher at Microsoft probably saved Phil Spencer on this one. And we're like, they're not going to turn a profit. So, like, for completely selfish capitalistic reasons, it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably for I can't believe it's like Xbox dodged like a nuclear warhead here. Bungie would have been closed by now. I'm going to be real. Bungie would have 100% been closed. I don't think you would have gotten the final shape without or the final shape would have been the end. I don't know that you would have ever seen Marathon come out if they.
Yeah, and someone like
then again, I mean, they're the one publisher that seems to have kind of nailed it. Like, they continually support their online games.
Yeah, but they also canceled, 2 of them before release that,
Yeah, I've made my feelings pretty clear on that one. Like, as much as I would have loved to have seen that canceled ZeniMax one, that game was like 4 years away from release. And they'd been working on it for 5 or 6. Like, if you can't even get a vertical slice in that point, you have no business making a game. You just don't. It's a miracle that Fable will actually come out after all the ups and downs that project has had.
Yeah, but also that's a 2-team studio. They've been pumping out Forza Horizon games like.
Oh no! I totally agree.
Rabbits.
It's just like there's always going to be risk involved, and I think Sony saw this as like, okay, this is kind of like how Microsoft went in and bought all these single player studios, and we're like, okay, we do multiplayer good. Like, we've always done multiplayer good. What if we get a bunch of story-driven teams in here. Oh, we're gonna go get Ninja Theory. We're gonna go get Compulsion. We're gonna get Obsidian. Like we're gonna get Exile. Like all these studios on the cheap because every one of those studios, including Double Fine that they got, were in financial trouble. Even ZeniMax, like getting ZeniMax Studios, like we knew that was coming out that they
That's
were.
why Fallout 76 exists. Because they needed something that was going to bring them money. Like
they were in financial trouble. Jeff Gardner talked about that with us a couple of years ago when we talked to him on the Boss Rush pod.
Yeah.
You know? And he was saying it back then. He was like, dude, like the shift we saw during COVID to PC was wild. And like, I don't think that most of us understood until probably about the last year and a half, how big that shift really has become. And now it's going to be like impossible for you to build your own PC.
Yeah.
And that's the best place to play like anything. So like we're heading for a big gaming crash / reset. And games like Destiny are going to be the first ones to go.
Yeah, I think
they cost like so much money to maintain.
I think also when people hear video game crash, I think they think like they definitely think of like Atari and stuff.
They think of ET.
But the crash is coming from the developer side, where like there are too many games and not enough time or money to support the developers that everybody wants to. And like,
well, it's also like the budgets have become so inflated. Yeah. Like we talked about Spider-Man 2 really extensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's like not like
$450 million game.
Yeah, it's not like when the Yar's Revenge guy turned around and made ET in like 8 weeks or whatever, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean, you look at some of these studios, especially the studios that like, you know, we just talked about Fable, right? But and even like Sony, like Naughty Dog still hasn't put a game out this generation, you know, or
they very well might not.
Yeah, I mean, Intergalactic will probably be at worst a cross-gen game, right? Mm-hmm. Like.
Now with like obviously all the RAM shortages and stuff, this generation's going to be extended, but
that's fine with me.
Oh, it's totally fine with me. I felt like we were progressing way too fast towards the next one, but I think everybody's all starting to understand like we're hitting a limit in what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Affordably. What we can do affordably.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I say all that to say, like, I don't know what my relationship is going to be going forward with Destiny or any online game like that. Like, I just don't. And yes, for me personally, part of this is the idea that I am now back in the office. I now have a 30-40 minute commute each way. I'm drained when I get home, man. Like, I leave my house at like 7:15, 7:30-ish. I don't get home until after 6. I make dinner, and by the time I make dinner, clean up, I've changed, usually take a shower. Like, God forbid I decided I was going to go work out or something. Or I had plans after work. Like, sometimes, like, I literally get home. If I had plans after work, I get home, shower, and I go to bed.
Yeah.
I've texted Corey a couple of times over the last 6 months and been like, dude, I don't have it in me today.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have it in me to do it. Like, we can do one this weekend, or I can bang out a solo show or something, but I just don't have it in me anymore. And that's okay. Like, that's part of being an adult. We're not in our 20s anymore. You know, we're not 20-year-old bachelors.
Yeah. I mean, we just had a conversation before we started recording of like, I mean, we haven't recorded the Boss Rush podcast in like 6-ish, 7 weeks because, well, Christmas, but also like, you know, people are busy in life and you know, it just, it happens. And I used to be the person that was like, oh my gosh, if we miss a week, we're screwed. But then, you know, it's like, well, people understand that people have lives, and you know, we gotta evolve as people and as a show and as, you know, adults with responsibilities. And Destiny just isn't fit for, I mean, it's just not. Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. I just can't figure it out.
It's a frustrating place to be. It's a really frustrating place to be.
Yeah, I mean, even to Josh's point, like I worked today until 8 o'clock, and then I went into the office this morning at 8 a.m., came home about halfway through the day, finished work at home, put my kid to bed, threw some food in my mouth, and got on to record. Like, that was my day, you know? And so it's crazy. Life's crazy, man. It's crazy. Happy birthday to my cousin, by the way. His birthday's today. I don't know if he still listens to the show or not, but
yeah, I mean, this is just going to be like a short bummer of an episode, but I do have we do have actually questions that we can get
questions.
to. Hydra, oh god, we had several people write in questions this week. So Hydra wrote in last week. We addressed a lot of these on Xbox casuals, just because they were like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of addressed his Destiny question already inadvertently, but Hydra asks, where do you hope we go from here? The story feels stagnant and like it's just taking up time. Is there any possibility we go back to having the story shared throughout the season or some way to bring players back week to week? How do you make the story and bad guy engaging again? It's like we passed Avengers Endgame and we're in Phase 4 MCU waiting for a few years before we can finally get back to something new and cool like Fantastic Four and Doomsday.
Well,
I think we've addressed that throughout the whole episode.
we have to wait for Lodi to get fired for beating Ikora, and then allegedly, and then they come up with a new villain, and they'll bring Oryx back as Dr. Morix.
Dude, I'm so over it. I'm so done. Hydra had a follow-up to that for this week, which again I feel like we've kind of addressed already. What do you think of the sentence, we have to buy Marathon to keep Destiny / Bungie alive? I will never buy a game to keep a studio alive. If the game is not worth buying, I will not buy it just to save a developer.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. If your game's not good enough to buy, you're not good enough to keep around. I'm sorry. And I think quality is like there's a little bit of objectivity to it, but it's subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has different standards. Like I used to get into it with film bros all the time because I remember one of the ones I got into them with on was Pacific Rim Uprising. And like, keep in mind, the guy who like got all on my ass for saying that I had a fun night at the movies watching this, his literal comment to me was, what was fun about this to you? And I wrote him like a 4-paragraph answer because I'm tired of his condescending bullshit. And I was like, listen, not everything needs to be on the Criterion Collection, my guy, or be an A24 movie to be fun. Like, you can have a fun, turn your brain off movie once in a while. Like, does everything need to be slop? No, but listen, I was like 25, okay? I was very simple. I wanted to watch big robots punch big aliens.
I mean, yeah, who doesn't?
With John Boyega and remixes of rap songs.
Dude, so, I'm almost 40 and I still like to watch giant robots fight.
Dude, we've literally talked about Power Rangers like the last 4 shows we've done.
Yeah. I got new ones today.
I buy fucking Final Fantasy trading cards, man. Like, I don't care.
It took everything in me not to even mention my new Power Rangers today, Josh.
I have 3 Jeff the Land Sharks in my office.
That's awesome.
Like, dude, I don't fucking care. You like what you like. And like, hey, if you like Marathon, I encourage you to buy that game. But do not buy a game just to save a studio or just to support. I think it's silly when you buy something that you do not enjoy or will not enjoy or do not think is good just to quote unquote support it. Yeah. I think that is the dumbest bullshit. Like, as a creator, I would rather not have the support than get pity support.
Yeah.
Because that also leads to, like, false metrics and stuff. So.
Yeah, and then like, what if you...
That's how we got so much Telltale so fast.
God, yeah. Don't even remind me. Telltale, jeez. But yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I used to do that just because, like, oh, I love the studio, so I'm going to buy their game, and then like hated the game.
Yeah, I've done that way too many times in my life, and I'm tired of doing it. So I will be spending a lot of my gaming time catching up on stuff I have not played lately. Yeah. Like I said, I will play. I'm so happy they're doing an open beta for Marathon, and I'm not going to lie. A $40 game, I'm way more likely to pick up a $40 game than a $70 one right now.
Yeah.
Or $80 in Nintendo's case. I'm way more likely to pick up a $40 one now.
You gonna pick up Mario Wonder for $80 on Switch too?
No. I did not pick up Arc Raiders, for example, because extraction shooters don't interest me. You want to know why I'm willing to pick up Marathon, though? 1, they're going to do a public test that I'm actually able to play. 2, it's Bungie. I love Bungie games. I love losing myself in the world, and if anybody's going to get me to play an extraction shooter, it's going to be Bungie. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I want to play it. Do I have high hopes? No. But if it's something that I enjoy, if I'm paying $40 and it's something I enjoy for a couple weeks, then that's money well spent to me.
I mean, you're going to spend that going to the movies essentially for 2 hours.
Dude, listen, we saw Fellowship of the Ring a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you something. Two tickets, a 9 a.m. popcorn, and a 9 a.m. icy cost me over $40 total. This was not an IMAX movie, by the way. Oh, what was it, an IMAX? I don't think it was an IMAX. It might have been. I don't know. I don't remember if we saw it in IMAX or Dolby. But bottom line, I saw the extended Fellowship of the Ring on the big screen, and it was gorgeous and beautiful, and I cried multiple times because Fellowship of the Ring is my all-time favorite movie, not called Star Wars.
Josh.
Corey.
How do you get me to watch Lord of the Rings without falling asleep?
Have taste.
Well, we both know I don't have that.
I don't know how else to tell you that.
Josh, we know I don't have that. My Nintendo podcast is hitting episode 500 this year. Okay, we know I don't have taste.
I don't know. I mean, I fell in love with high fantasy as a kid, so like I read Lord of the Rings when I was 9. Like those movies came out when I was in the 4th grade, so and it's still to this day like the best cinematic achievement of my lifetime. So I don't know. Next question. So yeah, I hate that sentence, Hydra, just so you know. I think that you should buy what you want to, and don't worry about if you don't buy something, would it close the studio, even if you love it. Like, if you really want to take that much pity and go buy it, I'm not going to stop you, but I personally will not do it. I'm not going to go watch a movie by a director I like just because they made it if it doesn't look interesting to me. You know, I might wait and rent it at home and not see it in the theaters, and that might be a case for Marathon. Like, you know, hey, maybe you're not in, maybe you can't make the public test whenever they do it, and you're like, oh, I kind of want to play it, but I don't know if I'm gonna like an extraction shooter. Wait for the first sale. Bungie throws everything on sale within like 6 weeks. They're the new Ubisoft.
They're the new Ubisoft.
Renegades is like 40% off right now. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
So Year of Prophecy has regularly been half off even before Renegades came out. So
speaking of Ubisoft,
what a fucking catastrophe
they're doing with everything. Jeez almighty.
Jeez, we scratched the surface of it last week.
Gosh, could you imagine if Bungie split into like 7 different studios / publishers, and you know,
God.
Oh my gosh.
Help. Titan writes in, here's a question I think y'all will like. With us getting to Dredgens as a main player in the story, the return of Shin Malphur feels inevitable. Who would you guys pick to voice him?
Shin Malphur?
Man, I'm gonna be real. I need like somebody who's like old and gruff, because Shin is retired. Shin doesn't hunt the Dredgens anymore. Like he turned that over to us.
You know who would be perfect? You know who would be great for this?
Who?
Liam Neeson.
Oh my god, dude! I think I would just quit. I would quit. It's gonna be Troy Baker again. That's all it's gonna be. In all seriousness, I would like them to find somebody who has like a deep voice, but also sounds like they gotta have like a deep, intelligent voice to me. Maybe give him like a bit of an accent.
What about Idris Elba?
No,
they seem to be spending money on cast these days for other games.
I can't believe I'm gonna say these words because he's not a voice actor, but give me like a better version of Luke Evans.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Carl Urban for some reason.
Dude, if they got fucking Carl Urban in here to voice Shin, I will not talk negatively about Bungie for like 2 months. That's like the most I think I could stomach. I promise you, I will not say a single goddamn word about Destiny. Now, that might be because I have nothing, I won't say anything negative, so I might not talk at all. But if they announce that Carl Urban is going to voice a character in Destiny, I will shut the fuck up. I promise you. Somebody start a change.org petition to make Josh shut the fuck up by casting Carl Urban.
I mean, that'd be a pretty sick casting.
Dude, it's like if you can't like him, or I would never be able to take him seriously. But if Walton Goggins ever got cast, I would never take it seriously. But it would be like the greatest moment of my life.
Dude, Walter Goggins would have to place like a brand new.
Did you just call him Walter
Whatever.
Goggins? It's Walton Goggins.
That's what I said.
Confirm. Corey does not watch The White Lotus or Fallout.
Dude, you're right. I don't watch either of those things.
Please watch Fallout.
I watched half the first season.
Good. Keep watching it.
Wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah, that's fine. This is also the guy who doesn't like Elder Scrolls, everybody.
Look, Josh.
I love that there was a pause. like, were you really going to disagree with that? This is well covered ground. There's not enough plumbers for him.
Plumbers.
Plumbers, you're a Mario man.
Oh, I am not a Mario man.
Whatever.
Look, Josh.
Corey, if they made Skyrim amiibo, would you play Elder Scrolls with me?
They did make amiibo work in Skyrim for Switch.
If they made a specific like Elder Scrolls amiibo, though.
No, I didn't get the Dark Souls one.
I did.
Or the Diablo one.
I did.
Those ones are worth a lot of money.
They're out of the box.
Those ones are worth no money.
I was gonna say, Corey, do you want to change your statement? I don't think they're worth diddly dick outside of the box.
Oh my gosh, dude! I put online the other day that I opened a bunch of like the Power Ranger Lightning Collection figures, including the Green Ranger, which is worth like a ton of money. And I opened it, and somebody's like, "You should die." And I was like, "Oh,
shit!" Over an action figure?
Yeah,
it's fine. I once got a death threat from a Bruno Mars fan because I said that I was more excited for who was opening at his concert than him.
Who was opening at his concert?
It was back when Ellie Goulding made it really big.
Oh,
like her first album had just come out and it was like this huge hit, and so she was opening for him on his North American tour, and I was working the concert, and I was like, I posted, I was like, yeah, I literally said like, hey, I really like Bruno Mars, but I'm really honestly here for the opener. I fucking love Ellie. Dude, that tweet followed me for years. People would still respond to it like years later and basically tell me to go kill myself.
Well, people
like, I would kill for the chance to see him, blah blah blah, quit your fucking job so I can have it. I'm like, that's my response.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
You should die for opening a Green Ranger action figure.
You should die for opening a Green Ranger or preferring, God forbid, women make music. That's basically what I learned from the internet that day. All right. Jiggly Panda writes in, got a question for both of you. My girlfriend has been watching me play Destiny for the past couple weeks, and she's been thinking about getting into it, so I ask you this. For someone who doesn't play a lot of FPS, which class do you think would be the easiest for her to learn? Just don't start. Just don't start playing. That's my response. Don't start playing.
I mean, if she doesn't play FPS, I guess a Warlock would be my answer, probably.
Yeah.
Unless she's going to die a lot, then Titan.
To me, Warlock is probably the most beginner-friendly. I think in terms of movement, like, people disagree with me all the time on this. I feel like if you're accustomed, well, she's not used to playing FPSs though. Like, I would say, like, for me, Hunter is one of the easier classes because of the movement alone. It moves like a traditional, like, jumping character. Whereas, like, Warlocks and Titans, you have to glide, and I've never, like, wrapped my head around that. That's so weird to me.
See, to me, the Hunter is like the hardcore character.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know. Just because all the hard.
I would say Warlock is my serious answer.
Yeah, Warlock is my answer for sure. Just because
I'm gonna say Warlock. I don't like saying it, but I'm gonna say it. It is beginner friendly.
You got the riffs, right? You got the sniper melee, essentially. You got the little helper things in your abilities, right? Like I feel like the Warlock is the easy answer. So crickets.
Yeah. Warlock. Go play a Warlock. The end.
Or something else.
Or something else. Or a better game.
Or a 25-year-old Fire Emblem game like me.
Yeah.
I didn't have to spend $280 on it, though.
You did not have to spend $280 on it. All right. Do we have any more? I'm looking to make sure we don't have any more. Jiggly Panda had questions from last week. I'm looking at those. I feel like we've kind of addressed at least one of those already. What are your thoughts on Marathon finally getting its release date, and how do you feel Shadowrunner will be getting delayed as a result? We did address that. For Josh's favorite question, how long do you think it will take before Marathon does a crossover with a game or media other than Destiny? Man, I'm gonna be real. If it's not a fucking anime, I don't care at this point. If you do not make a Marathon anime with this art style, you have lost the plot.
Let's see. We need Dragon Ball. We need One Piece. We need
not like
My Hero Academia. That's one, right? That's your favorite, right?
I do fucking love My Hero.
I'm a Full Metal Alchemist. That's
I cried in the finale. I cried like 6 times in the final season. It was great. It was great. Great. I do still have a soul.
You do. Somewhere. It's because you're not playing as much Destiny. It's coming back out.
I'm actually really excited to buy that game next week. It comes out on Chelsea's birthday, and I was like, babe, would you be mad if I spent your birthday playing My Hero? And she was like, I'm at work for 3 days. I'm like, oh, score. I'm playing it for 3 nights straight.
Oh my God.
I'm not even joking either. That's the worst part.
Jeez.
I was like, could I get away with taking a half day to come home and play this? And then I remembered that I actually really need to watch my time off this year.
Jeez.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't even know what you would do a crossover for Marathon with, because, like, are there going to be any identifiable characters? That would be my first question. Like, how many identifiable characters are you actually going to have? Because I think that will affect doing it. And, like, if you have crossover with Destiny, that's fine. Like, I also think it's really fucking weird that you can purchase Marathon from inside of Destiny, and that apparently Marathon, when you pre-bought it, was, like, forcefully installing Destiny to Steam.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot. I made that joke on Xbox Casuals last week. And then a week happened, and I totally forgot.
Our friend Joasa said, "Oh God, it's the U2 album all over again."
Oh yeah, when they put that album on everybody.
It's the only person who ever enjoyed that. I was like, "Hey, sweet free U2 music," and people around me are like, "What the fuck is U2?" And I was like, "Oh my God, what is U2?" Like, I understand it's being invasively put on there, but like, one of the most famous rock bands in the last 30 years,
right?
So I found out nobody in my class listened to rock.
Oh.
What could you?
They were just Creed fans.
Could you put a Marathon crossover in Arc Raiders?
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Could you imagine?
That's the only thing I can imagine it being. Okay, maybe there will be a Marathon skin in like Fortnite.
In Fortnite?
Yeah, I could see the runner that is on the statue. I could see that being like a single skin in Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see that.
Mm-hmm. So
that seems like an easy win, even just as like promotion for the game.
Mm-hmm. That's about the only one I can really think of, though. I'm going to be honest. I'm also not thinking hard on this at all. I mean, I don't even know about this, and I'm going to be real. I'm putting in bare minimum effort right now, Jiggly. I'm really sorry.
The thing is like Marathon's art style is so distinct.
It's so good. It's also plagiarized.
Well, yeah, but it's still distinct.
Never convinced me this whole thing was not just ripped off and a sham.
I don't even know what you would do at this point. There's going to be I don't know. I have no idea. Helldivers.
Helldivers is a distinct possibility. God, could you imagine the Marathon runners in that goofy ass style?
It would be so funny, dude.
That would be really funny to me.
ODST worked.
ODST did work.
I played
ODST
Helldivers until I got the ODST stuff, and I was like, I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie.
ODST is so good, man.
ODST is.
Don't worry, we'll get that remake in about 5 or 6 years.
God, please no.
It'll be on PlayStation, and they'll wear PlayStation t-shirts to the Halo event. Oh
boy.
And then we'll watch every single Xbox super fanboy cry on the internet. Oh, man. Good times, huh? Josh, do we have any other questions?
No, I think that is actually it for our questions. I just remembered I needed to scroll up and see that one.
Well, Josh, you know what time it is. We'd be remiss, Josh, if we didn't acknowledge your Seattle Seahawks going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for everybody who doesn't like sports, just feel free to end the episode right here.
Yep.
God damn, dude. I was so nervous that whole game. I was pacing back and forth in my living room. Mr. I don't care about football this season was pacing back and forth. It just makes... God, dude. Listen. Aside from Hydra, who is a Patriots fan, I expect every one of you to root for the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm rooting for the Seahawks just for the sheer fact that I'm rooting for Sam Darnold because he's been so...
Dude, okay, can we put some respect on my man's name?
That's what I'm saying.
I have not been a believer in Sam Darnold, and man, just this stretch that he has gone on since that overtime win against the Rams.
Oh my gosh, dude, that December was awesome.
Like since that dude has been a monster. It needs to last one more game, and then I don't care if he shits the bed next year. One more game is all I need. Like we're at a point that if they win the Super Bowl, we're gonna have to have some really uncomfortable conversations about where this defense ranks all time, which is nuts. That arguably the best player on our defense is a rookie.
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, the Browns' second best player on our team is a rookie with Carson Schwarzenegger on our defense. So, yeah, dude, and the only reason why he's not the first is because we have Myles Garrett.
I would really love to see. I don't think that he will ultimately win it, which is a fucking shame after the season he had. But Jackson Smith and Jigba 100% should win Offensive Player of the Year, and I have a feeling they're going to give it to Drake May. Because if he doesn't win MVP, he's the only quarterback that's up for Offensive Player of the Year, I believe. I think everybody else is like a skill position. So I think that he will probably get Offensive Player of the Year, and Matt Stafford will probably get MVP. That's probably how the voters are going to go with this. And that's a shame. Like, Njigba just had one of the top 10 seasons of all time by a receiver ever.
Yeah, he's good, man.
And
dude, he only needs 35 yards to break 2,000 yards for the season.
Dude, it's fucking wild. Like he's going to break that in the first quarter of the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh, dude. 35 yards for 2,000 yards.
I still maintained that Darnold went really cold randomly in the middle of the season for like a 5-game stretch. If he hadn't gone that cold, then I think JSN would have broken Calvin Johnson's record. I 100% think he would have broken the single season record. He was on pace. It's just wild to me. It's a shame that he will not get the reward that he deserves. There will be no Cooper Cupping for him, but if we win the Super Bowl, it's highly possible that he ends up being the MVP. I know they love to give it to the quarterback, but I feel like at that point, unless Kenneth Walker goes off for like 3 touchdowns or something, then I think that it's probably going to end up being JSN. As long as he scores a touchdown, it'll end up being him most likely.
Yeah.
As a way to be like, hey, we're sorry that you didn't get Offensive Player of the Year like you should have, but here's this, and you get to live forever as the MVP.
Forever.
And they almost never give it to a non-quarterback. So I think that would be really cool to me if that happened. But I'm happy, man. Like Mike McDonald had one of the all-time great quotes in the history of Seattle sports, I think, after the game. Michael Strahan is up there on the stage for anybody who didn't watch, and he was like, Coach, earlier this year, everybody had the Niners and the Rams coming out ahead in this division, and what did y'all think about hearing all those preseason predictions? And Mike McDonald, just with like the eyes of a serial killer, goes, "We did not care, and pause for dramatic effect, and you just hear the crowd start losing their shit in the background. And it is fantastic. That is like the ultimate dad aura farming moment, I think.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. It was great. I don't care. I don't care, man. I'm happy that we made the Super Bowl. Like, we just got a new coach 2 years ago. Our coach isn't even 40, dude. He's fucking 38 years old, and he's a psychopath.
Our coach turns 60 tomorrow. Our new coach. Our new coach also is running our defensive coordinator, arguably the best defensive coordinator out of town.
That's fucking wild. We're about to lose Clint Kubiak to the Raiders, which is really bumming me out.
Don't worry, Josh. Next year, we're going to be called the Cleveland Clowns.
Dude, we're about to be on our third offensive coordinator in 3 years, or our fourth in 4 years, I guess, technically. And that's a huge bummer. I don't even know what we're supposed to do with this. So I for one would prefer for Clint Kubiak to stay for another year. I feel like if you win the Super Bowl, then that probably gets him to stay for another year to see if you can go back to back. But man, that just hell of a game, hell of a season from those guys. I did not think we were going to do good. I thought at best we were going to be a wild card team. I thought like 6th or 7th seed maybe.
Well, I think Sam Darnold was the wild card, right? Like you just didn't know which you didn't know what you were going to get.
I was one of the ones who was like, I can't believe we're getting rid of Geno for this guy. Geno's proven himself over 2 years with us. 2-3 years, he's proven himself.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we saw how that one went. Now Geno's team was the worst in the league, and they're going to get the number 1 overall pick, and he's losing his job again. So the only person I feel bad for in all of this is Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett, for those of you guys who don't know, we drafted him the season after we lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And he left in the offseason this year. We released him. And that is a huge bummer because I really, really wish he's the one player from that span that I wish like hell we could get a ring for. Because he's one of the best receivers in team history. He was the guy, like, for years when Russ would just chuck those bombs down there. He'd go, fuck it, Lockett's down there somewhere. I can't tell you how many games I watched him have these circus catches in the back of the end zone. Toe tapping in there and catching the ball as it's flying out of bounds. Like, just him and Doug Baldwin, two of the most underappreciated wide receivers, I feel, like the last 20 years. And it's a damn shame that he's not going to get to have a Super Bowl ring. He's 100% going to be, he'll be a member of the Ring of Honor in Seattle one day. But I really, really wish we could get him. I wish we could have gotten him signed. Can we sign him to the practice squad for like the week of the Super Bowl? Is that possible? We actually did that with a guy that we let go like 2-3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Andre Diggs. He actually got signed to our practice squad like a month and a half ago. And now he has the chance to get a Super Bowl ring with us.
Wow.
That's good. That's crazy though. But he was a mainstay in Seattle for like 6-7 years. At one point, he was our highest paid defensive player. So I think stories like that are cool. I think there's obviously a lot of history here because everybody knows Super Bowl 49. It's one of the greatest plays in the history of the NFL. Even if I came out on the wrong side of it, I still do not think that you had to give the ball to Marshawn to run it. I have actually made a lot of peace with that call. Like, okay, yeah, it was a bummer. If we hadn't won the year before, it would sting a lot more. But having the most dominant Super Bowl victory of all time over Peyton Manning and what was at the time statistically the greatest offense in the history of the league and just be shut down like that was incredible. The Percy Harvin return, I'll never forget. That was the moment where it sunk in like, oh my God, we're about to win our first championship. Coming out of halftime and seeing him do that. That was the point where a lot of people I know turned off the game, and I ran down the street screaming because I was so happy. So if Rashid Shaheed does that again, by the way, I'm going to be doing that. We were at dinner during the 49ers game, and he had that kickoff return at the very beginning of the game, and it took everything in me not to sprint out of the restaurant. I was so happy because where I was sitting at it, we were at a birthday dinner for one of Chelsea's friends. I was positioned perfectly to be able to see the bar at the TV because everyone knew that it was a Seahawks game and people were just like staring at me for my reactions to know how the game was going. And And yeah, 41-6. It was so bad that they had a belt on the sidelines and they were smacking the ground with it.
Jeez.
Yeah, JSN, Leonard Williams, and somebody else were over there doing belt to ass in the middle of the game.
Jeez.
All I'm saying is you got to win the Super Bowl if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
And if they win, this is the last thing I'll say on this because we do need to get out of here, and this is not sports casuals. If they win, I think it's one of the more fascinating paths. They will have beaten almost a double-digit number of teams that made the playoffs this year. They lost every game they lost this season. They lost by a combined total of 8 points. 8 points.
It's crazy.
They will have had to they had to play the Rams and the 49ers both 3 times in order to get here. They had to beat them both twice. And both of those victories over both teams came within the last 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
If they win this, they will win it in San Francisco, in the San Francisco home locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's just the biggest insult.
Yeah,
I find that very funny.
It's something.
My childhood best friend does not find it funny, however, and has told me he will not be watching the Super Bowl. So,
well, let me tell you, as a Browns fan,
nothing can hurt you.
I mean, you would be surprised about all of the things that are going on this week in Cleveland. Oh my gosh. We need a whole nother hour to just talk about that garbage. Browns hired the Ravens offensive coordinator as their head coach, but our defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, is probably out now, which he'll probably go to San Francisco and be their defensive coordinator / assistant head coach is the word floating around Cleveland.
Jimmy Schwartz?
Yeah. Because he technically is still under contract for 2 more years and can't leave unless the Browns say he can. And obviously by NFL rule, unless you're getting a promotion, you can't leave the organization, right? Unless the organization gives you a go ahead or the new coach fires you, essentially.
I think that's really silly, but yeah, I get it.
Man, you should have seen what Myles Garrett posted on his Instagram today, dude.
He's not happy.
No, he posted the meme of the sad person on the bench with literally no comment or no like caption or anything. It's just like, oh my gosh, dude, he's gonna go on Radio Row again and ask to be traded again.
Dude, after he just had one of the best single defensive seasons of all time.
Yeah.
He's going to he deserves to be the unanimous defensive player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And look at how, like, no offense, dog shit your team is.
I'm quite aware. I watched it.
I'm so sorry. I have to ask you this, not to rub salt in the wound. Does it bother you to see teams that have had success, obviously, whether it be like some success or a lot of success, like the Seahawks and the Patriots, respectfully, have to go into a full-on rebuild and still be able to rebuild, retool, and get back to the Super Bowl before y'all can even make the playoffs?
Oh yeah, of course it does. I mean, we had Mike Vrabel in the building last year.
I know.
As a consultant. And he actually
Vrabel, I wanted to replace Pete.
I also wouldn't have minded.
And I'm extremely happy that we ended up with Mike McDonald, a legit psychopath who I think would be the next Unabomber if he wasn't coaching football.
Dude, it's just like the problem. I'm tired of talking about Deshaun Watson and the contract situation and how awful our owner is and how we should have fired our GM instead of our coach. And yeah, it's a thing. So, Shedeur Sanders in the Pro Bowl though, Josh. Don't know if you knew that. Shedeur Sanders, Pro Bowl.
Obviously, just like the dumbest fucking thing.
It's the most Browns thing ever, dude.
Brother, there have to be like at least 4 other deserving guys that are not injured.
There are. One of them's hurt, and one of them's in the Super Bowl, and one of them declined.
Where the fuck is Joe Burrow in all this?
He didn't want to go. He declined.
Oh my God, dude, this is The Pro Bowl is such a fucking joke.
Dude, it's worse than the NBA All-Star game, man.
It's absolutely worse than the NBA All-Star game. Like, people clown on Jokic and Luka for doing, like, circus shit, like running down the court and just throwing the ball back and forth at each other and, like, trying full court shots. But, like, at least that's entertaining. This isn't even a game anymore. It's the Pro Bowl games. It's the games.
It's a flag football.
It's so bad. What are we even doing here?
Dude, nobody knows.
The only sport that I feel takes it seriously anymore is baseball. And even then, I think the voting is so bad.
Even then, it's questionable.
Like, 8 Rangers got voted to it the year before we won the World Series, and they should not have made it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So, some of them, yes. Corey Seager? Sure, we love Corey Seager. But, God bless America.
Dude.
All right, Corey, get me out of here. I gotta go watch the Mavs lose again.
Yeah.
We're losing to Charlotte. I gotta go watch it.
Before we go, the latest basketball rumor, let me tell you. The Cavs played the Lakers last night, and it was LeBron's return to Cleveland. Now, all Cleveland can talk about is if LeBron doesn't return to the Lakers next year, he can be our missing piece to win a championship and have a Cinderella send-off.
Bro, if you are hoping for 42-year-old LeBron James to come be your missing piece, you've got more than a few problems with your team. That's all I'm going to say.
Dude, until they started talking about LeBron, people were
also
begging.
Who was the guy with the insane disrespect of LeBron last night?
Jalen
Tyson?
Jalen Tyson is our dude. He's an awesome player. But
that's great. But he literally, Donovan Mitchell is getting asked about LeBron returning, and he interrupts to go, "This ain't LeBron City no more. This is Donovan Mitchell City." And you get like the look on Donovan Mitchell's face is like, "Oh my God, shut up! Please stop talking right now."
Yeah, it was funny.
Jesus Christ, dude. Corey, get me out of here.
All right, everybody out there.
Here.
Thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of Tower Casuals, the Sometimes Destiny podcast. Find us every other Friday. You can check out Xbox Casuals. You can check out all the other things Josh and I do, sometimes maybe other places. Josh, thank you for your time tonight as always. I appreciate you. Remember to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you listen. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.